Hello there. We are here to talk about the books Universe and Disenchantment, and the reason that I'm recording these books divided in 4 parts. It is to clarify for new students or for the ones that are interested to know what it is about, the Universe and Disenchantment book. And I will divide in 4 parts, as I said. One is Innerlines. We will describe the chapters. The second one is Parlance and phraseology, is the meaning of the words. If you are trying to read and trying to understand by yourself, maybe you're going to struggle to understand the meaning, which some words are not exactly as you read in English or in your language. And the third part, we're going to through testimonies, why people are getting so connected to the book's Universe and Disenchantment. And the number 4, it's FAQ, which is frequently asked questions about the book. So I would like to talk about the second and the third book from Replica, but mainly you have to understand the difference between what is Replica, what is Replica, and I will clarify for you further on. And right now, the chapter that I chose is the first chapter for the third book, Rejoinder. Talking about the first chapter, the beginning says, the developing of the reasoning is the same as learning how to speak. The approach of the author of this book, the Rational Superior, it's very clear when he talks about the way you learn rational culture, Universe and Disenchantment. But you don't get it very fast to understand how it is, the culture and the development itself. You need a little bit of time, of course, a little bit of understanding, of course, but also you need time to develop your reasoning. And the development of reasoning, as he says, again, the development of your reasoning is the same as learning how to speak. And he goes further and he says, naturally, you'll be evolving, learning, until you are a great speaker. So this is page 6, the first paragraph, and he goes about the same subject. And your reasoning is naturally developed by rational action. So it's very important to understand what he's talking about. Of course, at this level, reading the third book of Replica, which I will clarify further on what it is, Replica, it's supposed to understand all this information, all these expressions that he's using here. So, and your reasoning is naturally developed by the rational action, page 7, first paragraph, and to start to transmit what you receive from the rational world and communicate with the rational world because you have been connected to the rational world. So, page 7, paragraph 4. Again, is talking about the way you are connected to the rational world. So we're going to talk later on what it is rational world and what he's talking about, connection, what it means, how you do it. And continuing the same chapter, he says, and the reasoning under its development is eliminating the thought and imagination. This is page 7, 5th paragraph. And he goes, and with some time, naturally, the phase of thought, or meaning the thought ceases its function. Page 8, paragraph 1st. So the person reaches the balance ever seen before. It's talking about development, and development involves evolution. Of course, we are talking about a new, modified, refined human being. And under the circumstances, he's talking about thought and imagination, which is a concept that you have to understand deeply what he means about thought, what he means about imagination. So it's 2 different, very deep subjects to understand. So when we say seize the thought, seize the imagination, is the action of 2 energies working on thought and imagination, okay? So here we go. And so With some time, naturally, the thought ceases its function, page 8, and the person reaches a balance ever seen before. Therefore, its reasoning is connected to a superior world, page 8, paragraph 4. So he's talking about the condition, why you're doing this, right? And now I have here an understanding that to get to the point of seizing the thought and imagination, get to a different level, as he says, a different condition. You are balanced in a way that you've ever seen before. Because the action of unbalancement is connected to rage, to stress, to depressive behavior. So your mood is never going up and down and changing all the time. You have your stable personality. You don't get the influence of getting sad or getting happy suddenly, which happens a lot with the variations of the imagination and the thought itself. So you understand that the thin line he talks about balance is because the energy that is connected to you is going to control these two inferior energies that is going to be seized with time. Okay? So, and the one living in the material world live like a beast, and the ones connected to the superior world live like rationals, page 11, chapter 1. So he says again, under this condition, when you stop the thought and the imagination, when you seize it, so your connection to the superior world, controlled by the rational energy, is only work on your reasoning. So as you see here, the condition that you live in the material world is completely different than the beasts. So we are talking about the beasts very soon. Conditions about beasts connected to the superior world are rationals, and connections to the beasts connected to the inferior world are just behaving as beasts. So we're going to talk about beast action, animal action, rational device actions. So again, he says that the frivolous exchange the rational life for a material life. So we are talking here about a different subject. We are talking about the ones that are already reading, they already understand what is universal disenchantment, and they are behaving as beasts. So we clarify a little bit for you to not wait for the next part of this video. Talk about behavior. He says frivolous exchange the material world. He prefers the material world than the superior world. It's an action, it's a choice. Rational culture is not pushing anyone to follow its understanding, its knowledge. So it's up to you to say, yes, I will do this as I know that is right, or no, I don't do this. So when he says exchange, because it's up to you to use the knowledge to change your life, or to use the knowledge for you to keep behaving as you always behave your whole life. Let's say, for example here, you are always a stressful person and you always take everything so personal. You are always fighting about everything. And then you start to understand that life is not like this, and you should understand and behave differently, and naturally you should be changing your behavior. So you know that you shouldn't do it, but you keep doing. You know that you shouldn't be eating something, for example, that makes you feel sick, but you keep eating anyway. So there is no, in any way, like coercion of your behavior. There is no one saying to you that you shouldn't do this, that you cannot do this. The knowledge of the rational culture is very natural, make you understand what is right and what is wrong, and you, as you wish, behave as you wish, right? So he talks about the frivolous ones, exchange the rational life, which is the behavior, which the condition is understanding about what is rational energy, what is the behavior of rational animals on Earth, on this planet. And then he says that these ones cannot return to their world of origin. Page 15, chapter 3. What I mean to say that in this chapter, when I read it, he makes a definition. Okay, it's up to you if you want to change, right? No punishment here. It's up to you if you want to change. If you don't want to change, it's your choice. And when we talk about inferior classes, we go to the FAQ later on. he means that it's a process of evolution as well. There is no punishment. You do it as you wish. So if you feel for doing, do it. If you don't want to do it, okay, don't do it. So the point is that in this condition of evolution, your energy is going to be transformed into an inferior energy. To understand the concept, you would understand the same physical law, which is the EMC square. It's famous worldwide. And you understand that energy is split in two parts of matter, right? Matter squared equals energy. It means that the energy was divided in two parts. So what he's talking here is this division, turning energy into inferior conditions. So evolution to the rational world, return to the rational world, of course, it's a huge understanding. We are going to go through this more. Right now, it's just for you to understand there is no punishment, it's a matter of behavior, and he calls this one that knows the right, keeping doing the wrong, as frivolous. So he continues, right? The frivolous exchange the rational life for the material life, page 15, chapter 2, and cannot return to their world of origin. Page 15, chapter 3, and go down in inferior classes, page 15, chapter 5. So now, as we speak, he says also that the sick ones, again, we're going to discuss about who he's talking about, the sick ones that judge themselves to be what they are not, rationals, page 18, chapter 3. He means that we have different personalities during this evolution with the books Universe and Disenchantment in your hand. We have the beast behavior, rational animal behavior, the rational device behavior, and then you have other types of evolution conditions that you achieve during the knowledge of the rational culture, Universe and Disenchantment. So he says these ones cannot return. So when he talks to you, he talks about the ones that doesn't have the book. Sometimes he talks about the one that has the book, that are doing the right thing. And sometimes he talks to the ones that has the book in hands, and absolutely nothing will change their behavior because they do not want it. So that's the point about getting this first chapter, amazing chapter, for you to read and pay attention a little bit more about what is rational evolution and how you can achieve it. And don't dream, if you are having the book many years in your hand and you keep behaving the same, focus on the chapter and understand that your behavior matters. Thank you.
A natureza mudou de fase. E para que a humanidade passe a se conhecer, tem que estudar a cultura racional. Para poder voltar ao seu estado natural, que é de energia eterna, com o seu progresso de pureza. Porque são energias puras, limpas e perfeitas. Todos têm que desenvolver o seu raciocínio e por isso está aí a energia racional tratando de desenvolver o raciocínio de toda a humanidade. Então acabará os males da humanidade. Para terminar os males da humanidade, a pessoa tem que raciocinar, porque o raciocínio une e o pensamento divide. Então vamos caminhar para a concórdia e não continuar com a discórdia.